Tariffs are exploding, alliances are shifting, and one of America's biggest companies just got blindsided. Boeing jets rerouted, China slamming the door and imposing 125% tariff, and Trump doubling down on trade wars that are shaking the global economy. What's unfolding isn't just retaliation. Xi Jinping is turning economic pain into political gain, flipping the script on US dominance and exploiting cracks in global supply chains. And behind the chaos? India rising, Europe pivoting, and America's electric vehicle future stuck in neutral. Has Trump just handed China the ultimate leverage in global trade? Quickly hit the like and subscribe button, and let's unfold the details. China's decision to hike tariffs on US goods to 125% wasn't just retaliation, it was a message. Xi Jinping made it clear, China won't bow to unilateral bullying. With 145% US tariffs on Chinese imports, including aircraft parts, Beijing's response was swift, suspending Boeing deliveries and slapping barriers on American aviation. It's not just about planes, it's about global leverage. The World Trade Organization is already ringing alarm bells about broader economic fallout, but China is playing long ball. With Xi cozying up to Vietnam, Malaysia, and Cambodia, he's setting China up as the stable partner, while painting the US as erratic and aggressive. Investors are jittery, supply chains are shaky, and the world's watching two superpowers gear up for a brutal economic slugfest, with Boeing smack in the crossfire. And if you thought that was bad, wait till you see what China's doing to Boeing's bottom line next. Let's be clear, Boeing without China is like Netflix without content. It's devastating. China's big three airlines, Air China, China Eastern, and China Southern, were set to receive nearly 180 jets from Boeing over the next 2 years. That's now toast. Trump's tariffs priced Boeing right out of the market, and China's countermeasures nailed the coffin shut. The fallout? One Boeing 737 MAX literally turned around mid-delivery and flew back to Seattle. This isn't posturing, it's rejection in real time. Chinese carriers aren't just delaying deliveries, they're cutting ties. With Beijing pushing airlines to prioritize COMAC and Airbus, Boeing's global standing is crumbling fast. Meanwhile, Airbus stock is climbing. China knows exactly what it's doing. Boeing's Chinese dreams are evaporating, one canceled order at a time. And Boeing's deeper cash and certification problems? And those are only getting worse. Boeing is spiraling. Even before the tariff chaos, the company was already bleeding cash. The 737 MAX disaster, FAA delays, worker strikes, supply chain issues. It's been crisis after crisis since 2018. Now, with Trump's trade war blocking access to key export markets like China and tariffs threatening even domestic deliveries, Boeing's in a chokehold. And unlike Airbus, Boeing doesn't have global assembly lines to hedge the fallout. Add to that delays in certifying the MAX 7, MAX 10, and 777X. And you've got a backlog Boeing can't clear fast enough to stay afloat. AerCap, the world's biggest aircraft lessor, is already warning that Boeing could become a US-only player if this keeps up. In an industry where global scale is everything, that's a death sentence. So what's China doing while Boeing flounders? They're playing both defense and offense. China's COMAC is having a moment. The C919 is stepping into the space Boeing once owned, and Chinese carriers are happy to take delivery. Beijing has a target, 200 aircraft per year by 2029, but there's a catch. COMAC planes are still heavily dependent on US and European parts. Engines, avionics, flight systems, all foreign. So while tariffs hurt Boeing, they risk crippling COMAC too if Washington flips the sanction switch. Think of Russia's aviation collapse post-sanctions. China knows the risk. Still, Xi is betting big, offering support to expand COMAC's regional footprint, including deals with Vietnam's Vietjet. The goal? Aviation self-sufficiency. The irony? Even as Beijing crushes Boeing with one hand, it's nervously shielding its own aircraft industry with the other. And just when you think it's tit for tat, Trump goes after more than just China. Trump didn't stop with China. His tariff machine hit the EU, UK, Canada, sparing almost no major trading partner. While some countries got a 90-day pause, China, Canada, and Mexico got the full blast. The result? A chaotic global trade scene. The EU slapped back with 25% tariffs on US goods and started cozying up to China. Airbus, headquartered in Europe, is benefiting big time. Meanwhile, US airlines like Delta say they'll delay new Airbus deliveries if tariffs apply, while Ryanair warns of delivery delays from Boeing. That's the new aviation status quo. Uncertainty, rising costs, and global supply lines fraying fast. With every new tariff, Trump's turning what was once a competitive duopoly into a geopolitical minefield. And in that chaos, China sees a strategic opening to reshape global influence. Xi Jinping isn't just reacting, he's maneuvering. While Trump bulldozes through tariffs, China's working the room, deepening trade ties with Vietnam, Cambodia, Malaysia, even Japan and South Korea. That's not random. These are the very countries Trump hit with tariffs or alienated through America First policies. China is filling the vacuum with supply chain deals, rail links, and aerospace cooperation. Even COMAC jets are being floated into Southeast Asia through leasing deals. At the same time, China and the EU are talking trade summits and potentially recalibrating away from US dominance. The timing is key. As the US isolates itself, China is framing itself as the reliable economic alternative. Xi's message? Let Trump build walls, we'll build bridges. And there's one more battleground that could decide how much damage the US really takes. The electric vehicle race. The US electric vehicle industry is feeling the sting of Trump's tariff war. And it's more than just sticker shock. EVs depend on complex global supply chains, and a huge chunk of that runs straight through China. From lithium-ion batteries to permanent magnets and rare earth metals, US automakers are exposed. Now, with China's retaliation in full swing, those components are either more expensive or harder to get. And also, the dollar's dominance is starting to feel a little shaky. Trump's trade war isn't just bruising Boeing and American EVs, it's threatening the dollar's throne. With tariffs on multiple continents and economic volatility spreading, confidence in US financial stability is wobbling. Treasury bonds aren't the golden safe haven they used to be. China holds significant US debt and is already talking diversification. So China just weaponized their trade. Boeing stumbled, India capitalized, COMAC surged, the EU leaned into Airbus, and the US? Will the US double down and risk further isolation, or course correct before industries collapse? And can China maintain control without triggering its own economic landmines? Let us know your thoughts about this in the comments, and like the video if you think this was useful. And subscribe for more updates on trade wars, tech wars, and rising powers.